September 18th, 1991. A Wednesday afternoon in suburban Georgia. The kind of day where nothing bad is supposed to happen, or at least everyone expects life to be kind. Where kids ride bikes until the streetlights come on. Where mothers wave from porches and fathers come home at 6. But on this Wednesday, in the small town of Roswell, Georgia, 6-year-old Lily Moore vanished. Not in the dead of night. Not from some dark alley. She disappeared in broad daylight. From her own front yard. While her mother was inside making dinner. For 23 years, her family believed she was dead. The FBI believed she was dead. An entire community mourned a little girl they thought they'd never see again. But here's what no one knew: Lily Moore wasn't dead. She was alive. Living under a different name. With no memory of the family that never stopped searching. And the truth of what happened to her, when it finally came to light, would be more shocking than anyone could have imagined. This is the story of the girl who came back. To understand what happened to Lily Moore, we have to go back to the beginning. To a time before Amber Alerts. Before Ring doorbells and GPS tracking. To 1991, when a child could vanish without a trace, and the only thing standing between them and oblivion was Luke. K. Roswell, Georgia. Population 47,000. A bedroom community just north of Atlanta, where families moved for good schools and safe streets. The kind of place where everyone knew everyone. Where doors stayed unlocked and children played outside until dark. The kind of place where something like this wasn't supposed to happen. The Moore family lived on Maple Ridge Drive, a quiet cul-de-sac lined with oak trees and ranch-style homes. David Moore, 34, worked as an engineer at Lockheed Martin. His wife Jennifer, 32, was a part-time nurse who'd cut back her hours to be home with the kids. They had 2 children, 8-year-old Tyler and 6-year-old Lily. By all accounts, Lily was a bright, happy child. She loved butterflies. She'd chase them around the yard for hours. She wanted to be a veterinarian when she grew up because she loved animals so much. She had a laugh that could fill up a room. She was, as her mother would later say, pure sunshine. September 18th, 1991, started like any other Wednesday. Jennifer dropped Tyler at school, then took Lily to her kindergarten class at Roswell Elementary. Lily was in her second week of school, still excited about her new backpack, her new teacher, her new friends. After school, Jennifer picked both kids up. They stopped at the grocery store. Came home around 4:30 p.m. Jennifer remembers exactly what she bought that day. Chicken breasts. Broccoli. Rice. She was making dinner. The kids were playing outside. Tyler was riding his bike. Lily was drawing with chalk on the driveway. Jennifer could see them through the kitchen window. At approximately 5:15 p.m., Jennifer went to check on the chicken. She was inside for maybe 5 minutes. When she came back to the window, Tyler was still riding his bike. But Lily was go. Jennifer went outside. She called Lily's name. She thought maybe she'd gone around back to look for butterflies. But she wasn't there. Jennifer checked the garage. The backyard. She ran to the neighbors. Nobody had seen her. At 5:23 p.m., Jennifer Moore called 911. Within minutes, Roswell police officers flooded the neighborhood. They searched every house, every yard, every shed and garage within a half-mile radius. They found Lily's chalk drawings on the driveway. A half-finished butterfly. Her name written in pink letters. But no sign of Lily. Detective Marcus Reynolds arrived at the scene around 5:45. He'd been with the Roswell Police Department for 12 years. He'd worked missing persons cases before. But something about this one felt different. There was no sign of struggle. No screaming. No one saw anything. It was like she just evaporated. In a neighborhood full of people, in broad daylight, a 6-year-old girl disappeared without a single witness. By nightfall, Over 200 volunteers had joined the search. They combed through the woods behind the neighborhood. They dragged the pond at the nearby park. They knocked on every door within a 2-mile radius. The FBI was called in. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Bloodhounds tracked Lily's scent to the end of the driveway, and then it stopped. As if she'd been picked up and drive away. The case made national news. Lily's face appeared on milk cartons, on flyers in every store window, on billboards along I-75. The Moores appeared on America's Most Wanted. On Unsolved Mysteries. Desperate for any lead. The tip line rang constantly. Psychics called claiming to know where Lily was. Witnesses reported seeing her in shopping malls, at rest stops, in other states. Every lead was chased down. Every tip investigated. But none of them led anywhere. As days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, the leads dried up. The volunteers went home. The news cameras moved on to other stories. And the Moore family was left with nothing but questions and a grief so profound it threatened to destroy them. Jennifer Moore would later say that you never stop hoping. Even when everyone tells you she's probably dead. Even when the police stop calling. Even when years pass and the world forgets. You never stop hoping that maybe somehow she's out there. That she'll come home. But Lily didn't come home. Not in 1992. Not in 1995. Not in 2000. The case went cold. Detective Reynolds retired in 2011, but he never forgot Lily Moore. None of them did. Her case file sat in a box in the Roswell Police Department, gathering dust. A reminder of a mystery that would never be solved. Or so they thought. Because here's what no one knew: while the Moore family searched, while investigators chased dead-end leads, while a nation mourned a missing child, Lily Moore was alive. She was living 800 miles away, in a small town in rural Pennsylvania. But she didn't know her name was Lily Moore. She thought her name was Emma Wilson. The woman who raised her, the woman Emma called Mom, was named Brenda Wilson. She was 38 years old in 1991. Unmarried. No children. She worked as a home health aide, moving from town to town, never staying in one place for too long. And according to Emma, Brenda told her they were running. Running from Emma's abusive father. That they had to keep moving to stay safe. That they could never contact anyone from their past. Emma grew up thinking she was hiding. That her father was dangerous. That if he found them, something terrible would happen. So she never questioned why they moved so much. Why she was homeschooled. Why they didn't have family photos or baby pictures. She just trusted her. Emma's childhood was isolated. They lived in small rental houses in forgotten towns. Brenda worked odd jobs, cleaning houses, caring for elderly patients, waitressing. They never stayed anywhere longer than 2 years. Emma had no birth certificate. No social security number. No medical records. Brenda told her they'd been lost in a fire. Emma didn't have friends. She didn't go to school. It was just her and Brenda. Brenda taught her to read, to do math. They'd go to the library and check out books. That was Emma's education. And for years, Emma thought it was normal. But as Emma got older, questions started to surface. Why didn't she look anything like Brenda? Why couldn't she remember anything from before age 6? Why did Brenda get nervous whenever police cars drove by? When Emma was 16, she asked Brenda for her birth certificate. She wanted to get a job. Brenda got really upset. She said it wasn't safe. That Emma had to wait. And Emma started to feel like something wasn't right. Then, in 2010, when Emma was 25 years old, Brenda Wilson died of cancer. And Emma was left alone, with no family, no identity, and a growing suspicion that the life she'd been told was a lie. After Brenda died, Emma went through her things. She was looking for her birth certificate, for any paperwork that could help her establish an identity. And that's when she found it. A box. Hidden in the back of Brenda's closet. Inside the box, newspaper clippings. Articles about a missing girl from Georgia. A girl named Lily Moore. A girl who disappeared in 1991. A girl who looked exactly like Emma. Emma saw the picture and she couldn't breathe. It was her. She knew it was her. The eyes. The shape of the face. Even the smile. But she didn't remember. She didn't remember any of it. She didn't remember Georgia. She didn't remember a family. She didn't remember being Lily Moore. But the evidence was right there in her hands. Emma spent the next 4 years trying to piece together the truth. She contacted the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. She reached out to the Roswell Police Department. She sent them the newspaper clippings. She sent them her story. But without DNA evidence, without concrete proof, the case remained in limbo. There were too many false leads over the years. Too many people claiming to be Lily Moore. The police needed more than a hunch. So in 2014, Emma decided to take a consumer DNA test. In 2014, consumer DNA testing was exploding in popularity. Companies like 23andMe and Ancestry.com were making it possible for anyone to explore their genetic heritage with a simple cheek swab. Emma ordered a kit. She was hoping to find distant relatives. Maybe some answers about where she really came from. She had no idea she was about to crack open one of Georgia's most haunting cold cases. 6 weeks after sending in her sample, Emma got her results. And among the matches, people who shared her DNA, was a name that made her heart stop. Tyler Moore. Listed as a close relative. Possibly a sibling. Emma just stared at the screen. Tyler Moore. She'd seen that name in the articles. He was Lily's brother. Which meant she really was her. She really was Lily. Emma immediately contacted the Roswell Police Department. She sent them her DNA results. She sent them the newspaper clippings she'd found. She sent them everything. And Detective Marcus Reynolds, now retired but still consulting on cold cases, got the call. Reynolds would later say he remembered exactly where he was when he got that email. He'd been retired for 3 years. But he'd never forgotten Lily Moore. None of them had. And now, here was this woman saying she might be her. Saying she had DNA proof. The Roswell Police Department immediately opened an investigation. They contacted the FBI. They reached out to Othram, a cutting-edge forensic DNA laboratory in Texas that specializes in genetic genealogy, the same technology that would later be used to catch the Golden State Killer and solve hundreds of cold cases across the country. Othram compared Emma's DNA to samples the Moore family had provided years earlier. They analyzed hundreds of thousands of genetic markers. They built family trees. They traced lineages. And on November 12, 2014, they got their answer. Emma Wilson was Lily M. Or 23 years. 23 years they'd been looking for her. And she was alive. She was alive the whole time. The news sent shockwaves through the law enforcement community. Missing children found alive after decades are extraordinarily rare. Most cold cases end in tragedy. Most missing children are found within hours, or not at all. But this one was different. The media exploded. Georgia cold case solved after 23 years. Missing girl found alive. Miracle reunion. But while the world celebrated, Emma, Lily, was facing an impossible reality. She was about to meet a family she didn't remember. Parents who'd mourned her for 23 years. A brother who'd grown up without his sister. And she had no memory of any of them. She was terrified. These people were strangers to her. But they were also her family. How do you reconcile that? How do you become someone you don't remember being? On November 20th, 2014, Lily Moore met her family for the first time in 23 years. Jennifer Moore would later say that when she saw Lily walk through that door, she just collapsed. Her baby. Her baby was alive. She was standing right in front of her. Tyler Moore said he'd spent his whole life wondering what happened to his sister, blaming himself for not protecting her. And here she was. Grown up. A woman. But still his sister. The reunion was bittersweet. Joyful, but complicated. Lily had no memory of her childhood. No memory of her parents, her brother, her home. She was meeting them for the first time, again. They kept showing her pictures, telling her stories, trying to help her remember. But it was like they were talking about someone else. She wanted to remember. She wanted to feel that connection. But she just couldn't. Psychologists say that childhood amnesia, especially in cases of trauma, is not uncommon. Lily's brain had essentially blocked out her early memories as a protective mechanism. Whether those memories would ever return remained uncertain. But one question still loomed over everything. What happened to Brenda Wilson? And why did she take Lily? With Lily found alive, investigators turned their attention to Brenda Wilson. Who was she? And why did she kidnap a 6-year-old girl from a suburban neighborhood in Georgia? The FBI launched a full investigation into Brenda's background. And what they found was disturbing. Brenda Wilson had a history of mental illness. She'd been hospitalized multiple times for severe depression and delusional episodes. In 1989, 2 years before Lily's disappearance, Brenda had suffered a miscarriage. According to medical records, she became obsessed with the idea of having a child. She talked about it constantly. She bought baby clothes. She decorated a nursery. But she couldn't get pregnant again. And then something in her mind broke. Investigators believe Brenda had been watching the Moore family. That she'd targeted Lily specifically. That on that September afternoon in 1991, when Jennifer went inside to check on dinner, Brenda saw her opportunity. They think she approached Lily in the driveway. Maybe told her she'd found a lost puppy. Or that her mother had sent her to get Lily. Something that would make a 6-year-old trust her. And then she just took Brenda had a car parked nearby. She drove Lily out of Georgia that same night. By the time the Amber Alert system was implemented years later, they were long gone. Brenda created an entirely new identity for Lily. She homeschooled her to avoid any official records. She moved constantly to avoid detection. She isolated Lily from the outside world. It was a calculated, methodical abduction. But here's what's remarkable. Despite everything, Lily doesn't remember her time with Brenda as abusive. Brenda wasn't cruel to her. She took care of her. She taught her things. In Brenda's mind, investigators believe, she really thought she was protecting Lily. That she was her mother. It doesn't make what she did right. But it makes it complicated. It makes it human. Brenda Wilson died in 2010, taking most of her secrets with her. She was never charged. Never faced justice. The only closure came from knowing Lily was alive. Jennifer Moore would later say she's angry. Of course she's angry. Brenda stole 23 years from them. 23 years they can never get back. But she's gone now. And Lily is here. And that's what matters. In the years since the reunion, the Moore family has worked to rebuild their relationship with Lily. It hasn't been easy. There have been setbacks. Moments of frustration. Grief for the time they lost. Lily struggled with her identity. Was she Emma? Was she Lily? Could she be both? But there have also been moments of joy. Small victories. Shared memories being created for the first time. Tyler says she's his sister. He doesn't care that she doesn't remember him. He remembers her. And he's just grateful he gets to know her now. As an adult. As the person she became. Lily says she's learning who she is. Who she was. Who she's supposed to be. It's a process. But she has a family now. A real family. And that's something she never thought she'd have. Lily's case helped change how law enforcement approaches cold cases. The use of genetic genealogy, the same technology that found her, has since solved hundreds of cases across the country. From identifying murder victims to catching serial killers to reuniting families. It's proven that even after decades, there's still hope. Technology changes. Methods improve. And sometimes, just sometimes, we get a miracle. Today, Lily Moore is 39 years old. She lives in Atlanta, not far from her family. She works as a counselor, helping other survivors of trauma. She's written a book about her experience. And she's become an advocate for missing children. She still goes by Emma sometimes. It's the name she knew for most of her life. But she's learning to answer to Lily too. She says she's both people now. She's Emma and she's Lily. She's the girl who was taken and the woman who came back. And she's okay with that. Because her story doesn't end with what was taken from her. It ends with what she found. The Moore family holds a reunion every September 18th, the anniversary of Lily's disappearance. But they don't call it that anymore. They call it Lily's second birthday. The day she came back. Jennifer Moore says they lost 23 years. But they have the rest of their lives. And she's going to spend every day grateful for that. Lily Moore's case is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope can survive. That families can heal. That the bonds of love are stronger than time, stronger than distance, stronger than memory itself. And that sometimes, just sometimes, the impossible becomes possible. This has been the story of Lily Moore. The girl who vanished. The girl who came back. If this story resonated with you, please hit the subscribe buttons now. It means a lot to us. Thank you.